Are you used to living your life a quarter pounder at a time? Well, strap in for a flavor-filled ride as we set off in search of delicious, high-quality foods that can be had in an instant. It's time for the fast and the flavorful, right now on Let's Eat. Welcome to Let's Eat. I'm Orion Carrington. There was a time that if you wanted a quick meal, you may have to have a clown serve it to you through a drive-thru window. But this is 2017, and there are a ton of restaurants that are serving up high-quality meals in a short amount of time. We're in Rhino today, where chefs Alex and Spencer have brought handmade pasta to a counter service establishment. Dio Mio is light on fuss, but heavy on flavor. Let's go get heavenly at Dio Mio. So we're here at Dio Mio Handmade Pasta, and we're back with Spencer making pasta. So tell me about what we're doing here, Spence.
Well, we got these little ricotta tortellinis. So this is our stuffed pasta on the menu at the moment. Do you want to make one?
Yeah, sure, man.
Cool. So we'll just take one of these pieces, and you kind of just bend it where the filling is, and you just stick it together in the back.
All right, so a little bend,
Yep.
stand, stick, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
That'll be a special one.
That'll be extra special.
So tell me a little bit more about the restaurant, man.
So me and my business partner Alex, we worked together at a different restaurant downtown called the Lower 48. It was more fine dining. So after that place closed, we wanted to do something more casual, and this was kind of our answer to that. So, you know, it's order at the counter, the cooks deliver the food to you. Yeah. You know, it's the same quality food you get at the really fine dining places around town, but, you know, just in this casual atmosphere.
So if someone were to come in here and order something, what would be your suggestion, just if you're a beginner?
We always have the cacio e pepe on the menu. Cacio e pepe is a traditional Roman-style pasta, where it's just cracked black pepper, Parmesan cheese. And, you know, it's like the nice handmade noodles and a very simple sauce, so that's one of the ones we always have on the menu. We never take it off. Okay. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, and then, you know, the pastas get kind of more experimental and, you know, we play around, but, you know, we always got the basics. You can always get fettuccine and red sauce, you know, or the cacio e pepe.
What would be one of your signature items then?
So one of our more experimental pastas that we've had on the menu for a while is our squid ink spaghetti with kimchi and pork belly.
Oh wow, yeah, that is experimental.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. You know, I love eating Korean barbecue on my days off, and so, you know, the kimchi and the pork belly, it's kind of like the Korean barbecue experience, and then, you know, there's a lot of fish sauce and kimchi, so it makes sense to do it with squid ink pasta, and so that's definitely one of the really fun pastas that we've had on the menu for a while.
Well, let's go ahead and finish this up and try some of that out.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Brady. I'm the sous chef at Dio Mio. Today I'm going to show you how to make our cacio pepe, which is a traditional pasta with pepper and Parmesan and pecorino. And then we're going to make this squid ink, which has a kimchi and pork belly. Start by dropping it in the basket. Mixing it up so that it doesn't stick together. Skillet, heat it up. You can add pepper, add some olive oil, a little bit of butter, and then we'll add some water, some of our pasta water. And the heat and bubbles will help emulsify that butter in there. That'll help thicken it up. Should be about done after 90 seconds or so. Pour it into the pan, add another stick of butter, sprinkle a little Parmesan, and then we will plate it. We'll top it with some pecorino, sprinkle of pink peppercorn, This is the Cacio Pepe. So for our next pasta, we'll do the squid ink spaghetti. While that's going, we'll heat up a pan and fry some pork bellies. Add a little butter. We add our kimchi. Let that emulsify. And then this one at the end we finish with a little lime juice. And then finally we top it with some scallions. So that's squid ink pasta. It's got squid ink in the spaghetti making process, and then it's got kimchi, which we add garlic and chili and other spices just to kind of give it an extra punch, and then it's topped with fried pork belly and scallions.
All right, so we're here with Alex, and I'm just gonna dig in here, Alex. What do we have on our first dish here?
Charred broccoli with bagnacotta, which is basically Caesar dressing with Calabrian chili oil, which you see kind of the fluorescent orange, and then buttery breadcrumbs. So you kind of get them all. You get the creaminess from the Caesar, the buttery crunch from the breadcrumbs, and then the spice from the broccoli.
Yeah, you have all. It's like a warm salad almost.
Yep.
Yeah, a great way to start out your meal. Really, really good. Earthiness from the broccoli, obviously.
Yeah.
And then that dressing is really good with it as well.
Yeah, so it just has a lot of depth of flavor, but it's still kind of light and bright. A good way to kind of open your palate up.
And the breadcrumbs on it are a great texture component as well. Next, I was really looking forward to this pasta right here. So what are we working with on this one?
So it's called Cacio Pepe. It's black pepper and cheese. We kind of just put a little twist on it. We put the pink peppercorns, which add a fruity note. Traditionally, it's made with kind of a spaghetti, and we do fettuccine. This is my personal, like, all-time favorite pasta to go to. Comforting, rich, kind of satisfies like the whole palate and the stomach.
It really does. It really does. And the use of the fettuccine rather than the spaghetti, I think, is a good choice because you collect more of the flavor on every bite with that. That is a really good pasta. I'm gonna try some of this bread with it too.
So we also make our own bread in-house. That's one of our varieties that you get with pasta. It's a ciabatta. We just add some olive oil to it. It's nice and light. It's good to like soak up that pasta sauce with it.
Sure.
Kind of guide the noodles into your fork.
Now this is awesome. So tell me about this dish.
So this is definitely like our most fun pasta. It's kind of East meets West.
Right.
So we have squid ink noodles, which are kind of a very traditional Italian noodle.
Okay.
And then we have kimchi, so it's basically fermented cabbage with chili in it. And then pork belly, which adds like a lot of richness to the dish. And then we put some scallions on top to kind of round the whole dish together. So a lot of flavors there.
That is out of this world, man. I mean, you are bombarded with a ton of flavors right off top. I mean, you have the kimchi that you definitely taste, and then I put some pork belly with there. That is excellent.
And all these fresh pastas, the great thing about them is they cook in around under 3 minutes altogether. And then we just kind of build the sauce to order in the pan. So everything stays nice and light, but it's also can be done very quickly. So people can come in or out, or they can kind of make a meal out of it like it is here.
Some really, really fine dining in a casual way. Well, hey, thanks so much for having us out.
Appreciate you coming in.
Come on out to Dio Mio, handmade heaven. I'm carb loading for sure. And stick around and let's eat. Welcome back. I'm Orion Carrington. Whether it's a scorching summer evening or a chilly fall afternoon, there's never a bad time for ice cream. But today, we're going far beyond your typical vanilla cone. The crew at Sweet Cow has changed the game in the world of frozen treats. Each store handcrafts its variety of unique flavors every day, and all the ingredients are locally sourced. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get brain freeze because I'm gonna have all of the ice cream. Let's get moo-tacular at Sweet Cow. All right, so we're here with Ross, one of the owners of Sweet Cow. And Ross, tell me about Sweet Cow.
Sweet Cow, founded in 2010. My best buddy in the world of 27 years now, Drew Hannes, had a dream to open an ice cream shop, help a family and friends, including myself. I was in New York at the time. It looked like it was going to be one shop, that he was going to be scooping smiles and spinning milkshakes for 70 years. But when we saw what happened in the Louisville community when we opened, which was our first shop, we now have 6. This being our 6th here at Stanley Market. We just knew we had to keep on going. So we're all about great tasting ice cream. Our mission very clear, the best tasting ice cream, the friendliest scoopers, the cleanest ice cream shop on the planet.
Check, check, and check.
Check, check, and check. And it's just all about scooping smiles, like I said.
And you guys have some really unique flavors as well. So tell me a little bit more about those.
A lot of what we do is really just building on and extending the parameters of milk, cream, and sugar. A lot of old favorites, a lot of standards, like your chocolate chip cookie dough, your cookies and cream, your strawberry, your butter pecan. But then beyond that, we do experiment quite a bit. We don't really go into some of the more savory flavors. We have a limited arsenal of those, but we really just like to infuse flavor into our ice cream. So if you taste our oatmeal cookie ice cream, it's gonna taste like an oatmeal cookie through and through. Even our cookies and cream, if you taste our cookies and cream, we put Oreos in so many times during the ice cream making process. It's an actual Oreo base of ice cream. It's brown. A lot of people think it's chocolate, but it's really just taking on the color of the Oreos. Every bite you get the cookies and the cream.
Because that's the method, right? More Oreo and then a little bit more
We put all of
Oreo.
our ingredients right there in the ice cream machine. Flavors, we really just want to bring out the true flavors. Something like an Ozo coffee ice cream. Ozo is a Boulder roaster. We get our coffee fresh ground, steep it in milk, cream, and sugar for 18 hours, cold press it, put it in the ice cream machine. You get the creamiest, most delicious coffee ice cream on the planet. It's like literally eating a cup of coffee.
Well, say no more. Let's try some, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're here with Haley with all of our different ice creams. Where should we start?
I think the root beer float is the way to go. So we've got our Wincoop Brewery root beer float.
Yeah, okay. And I heard that the whole reason why they continue to do the root beer is because of you guys.
That's right. We've got 6 shops, so we're keeping them busy.
Keeping them afloat.
That's right.
Is there a way to do this? Like, do you put the ice cream in there?
I would suggest drink a little bit of the root beer first, so you don't have a volcano effect, and then you can toss that scoop in.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Is that it? Hits the spot?
Creaminess from the vanilla. That root beer is on point. That's really good stuff.
Yeah, and that root beer, we can give you a refill when you're done with the float.
Really?
Yep.
No wonder you guys go through so many. All right, cool. So what do we have next?
Milkshake. That's a not so big cookies and cream, our best seller, and some fresh whipped cream on top.
It's thick.
It is thick. That's why you have the big straw. It also helps with any chocolate chips or chunks of cookie dough.
Wow.
It's a real Oreo ice cream.
It's almost like having like a liquid Oreo cookie.
That's right. We put Oreos at the beginning, middle, and end of our ice cream making process.
Tell me a little bit more about the process.
Okay, so we take an entire box of Oreos. I think it's something like 120 Oreos goes into one batch.
Okay.
So like a third will go at the beginning, so it mixes in with the base. And then another third in the middle when it's kind of frozen, so you still get some of the chunks.
Okay.
And then at the end, when it's all done, we're sprinkling in quarters of cookies, so you get the chunks as you're eating the ice cream.
Well, this is definitely an Oreo milkshake. It's really good. Okay, and then we have this beautiful thing here. So what is this?
This is our Moo Good Sundae. So you've got 2 scoops of super delicious vanilla, our homemade hot fudge, rainbow sprinkles, and whipped cream. Some good layering in there, so you don't get to the bottom without the fudge.
Yeah, the fudge, is that like a recipe that you guys do? Or?
Yeah, we make it here in-house.
Well, that is excellent. I could be here and definitely get a brain freeze. So the whole episode, you guys have been noticing there's some cows the whole time here sneaking into our shots. So what's up with the cows?
Cows, kids to play on, even adults too. Sometimes you'll see them come in. We've got grassy area inside and we just put the one outside. So we want kids to come hang out, play on these. They're bouncy cows, good to jump on.
All right, so you and me, cow race off?
Okay.
All right, well, you're in for it. Let's go.
Yeah, you're going down.
Those cows are meant for people with a maximum weight of 110 pounds. I want you to watch your foreheads not to crack into the grass. On the count of 3, we are gonna go. 1, 2, 3, go! And our winner, Haley!
Hey, good race.
Good try.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, you can come out and practice.
For
Open
sure.
for practice.
Yeah, and thanks for the ice cream.
Of course.
Stick around and let's eat. Welcome back. I'm Orion Carrington. They say a New York bagel only tastes like a New York bagel in New York. The reason is the water. You just can't get that New York water anywhere else. Until now. Chef Joshua Pollack has not only brought his love for New York City establishments to Denver, but has also found a way to replicate the water that gives those NYC bagels their unique taste. Pair that with house-made lox, pastrami, and corned beef, and you got yourself a NYC 1-2-3 combo that's just a few minutes away out in the Stanley Marketplace. Let's get in there. Hey, Joshua, Orion.
Nice to meet you. I'll give you a pound.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in New York right now.
That's what we got, a little bit of New York here in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. So tell me about Rosenberg's. How'd this place come to be?
Well, I grew up in North Jersey, just outside of Manhattan. On my mom's side, the Rosenberg side, I'm 5th generation born in Manhattan. And I came out to school here at CU, but quickly realized the food I grew up eating, bagels, Jewish deli, appetizing, didn't really exist as I knew it. So I set out to do that when I was in school, and now my dreams have become a reality.
So how did you get like the recipes and like smoking? I'm looking at all these beautiful salmon down here, and how did you get all these?
Well, so for our bagels, I learned from a family friend of ours in New Jersey has 4 bagel shops. So I spent a lot of time with 4th generation bagel makers. We also did a lot of research to determine that New York water is one of the main ingredients in really good New York bagels. So
tell me a little bit more about that, because I've lived here my whole life, and you definitely cannot get the same type of bagel taste that you get out of New York.
Yeah, we always heard it was a myth, and it's bagels and pizza in New York are always better. So we tested water from all over the city and determined that it had some higher levels of certain minerals that affect the strength of gluten. We used CSU out here in Colorado to do all the testing for us, and then we hired a company to make us a fancy machine that recreates New York water chemistry. So we use New York water in our New York bagels.
Yeah, so it's about as authentic as you can get.
Outside of New York. And then the salmon, again, I grew up, frequenting places on the Lower East Side, Russ and Daughters, Barney Greengrass, that you'd walk in and you'd see just a whole plethora of smoked fish and see it masterfully hand sliced. And growing up as a kid, that was like one of my favorite things to watch in New York. So when I decided to do a bagel shop, I said we have to have all that too. As you can see, we've got quite a few different types of smoked fish. We don't just smoke salmon. We do sable, sturgeon, whitefish. We kind of do it all.
Well, I definitely want to try some of that and try some of the bagels.
Yeah, let's do that. So right here we've got our gravlax. Gravlax is a Scandinavian method preparation. Okay. It's cured but not smoked at all. So it's got lemon and dill on top. It's really fresh and herbaceous. Slice some of this up for you to try real quick. Try that. So yeah, that's the gravlax. You get, the herbaceous notes, but it's really clean and smooth. Not a lot of smoke flavor.
Yeah, I mean it's just a clean fish. Like you're not getting too much of the salt, which is what I thought you'd get.
This is a dry cure. So the cure it's a dry rub that it sits on, versus a brine is a wet solution that it'll soak in. And so this is our Scottish smoked salmon. So you can see subtle differences in the fat to flesh ratio. Right. Scottish salmon tends to be a little fattier.
Yeah, I can't get over how beautiful it looks when you cut into it, right? Wow, man, it's
like a little bit of home for me.
It still has like a nice, fresh, clean taste.
So the Scottish has become very popular. It's really well balanced. A lot of chefs are using it. And so we actually take that same fish for our pastrami lox, or pastramen as we're coining it. It's covered in this spice mixture, which is mostly, pepper, coriander, a little bit of brown sugar, and then we smoke it for 8 hours. Try that. It's become really popular.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, it tastes like pastrami.
Smoky. It's had the spice from the rub that's on there.
When people think about lox or they think about salmon, and they're not from the places that I came from, they really don't think of the versatility that you're able to get out of that fish. And really, you have very similar salmon, just prepared 3 different ways here.
And they all definitely have their own unique flavor. Well, man, this just whet my palate to have everything else in the restaurant.
Let's go build some sandwiches.
Let's do it. All right, so here we are with both of the bagels. That pastrami looks amazing, but let me start on the lox.
Yeah, so that's the gravlax we were slicing up earlier. It's cured but not smoked. We've got some scallion cream cheese, tomatoes, capers, onions, and then that's an egg everything bagel. Not a lot of people make egg bagels out here. Growing up, that was a staple in New Jersey, so it was a must when we opened the bagel store here.
The bagel itself is nice and chewy and delicious. And then you have all the different ingredients, and it's a classic take, but this has got to be one of the best ones I've ever had.
Awesome, thank you so much.
For sure. Oh man. And then that cleanness of the fish that
Exactly, yeah. So that's, we call our gravlax the gateway fish. So the gravlax is that clean lemon dill finish, no smoke at all. It's a good entry level for anyone that's looking to get into bagels and lox.
I'm hooked.
Awesome.
I'm now an addict, so the gateway worked.
Well, here you go. We started you with the fish, but we'll finish you with the pastrami because that's the heavy hitter. This is a navel cut of beef. which is the fatty tip of the brisket. And that is brined for 2 weeks, smoked all night, and then we steam it to order and hand slice. And we've got some melted Swiss on there with deli mustard and coleslaw on a pumpernickel bagel. That's probably my favorite sandwich of all time.
It's a perfect sandwich.
Well, thank you.
You know, like you get the smoky and fatty from the beef itself, the pastrami. Then you have all the other things that accompany it. You know, it's like a thunderstorm of flavor that's happening in my mouth. You get flavors coming from here, coming from there. It's packed.
You know, we've gotten some sandwiches down, but we do other Jewish deli specialties here.
Okay.
We're really proud of our matzo ball soup.
I've never had matzo ball soup.
Oh man, well you're about to have some of the best. Right here, I call it the recipe of 3 bubbies. It's a mixture of 3 of our grandmother's recipes. We do everything from scratch, so we roast the whole chickens, and we use the bones and the vegetable scraps to make the broth. Matzah meal comes from one of 2 purveyors in the country, but the technique and how you form that ball is different from every grandma.
Really?
Yeah, so when someone tells you their grandma made the best matzo balls, it's pretty much the same ingredients, just with a different technique. So for us, we want it to be firm enough to hold up in a hot soup.
Right.
But you should be able to just break right into that thing.
How have I been missing out on matzo ball soup?
I don't know. You know, we came with the 3 different recipes and we picked the best of them, and this is what we ended up with for Rosenberg's matzo ball soup.
Thanks, grandmas.
And then next, we've got some potato latkes. You know, we went for something that you still have those chunks of potatoes in it, but we've got onion, a little bit of matzo meal as a thickener.
Right amount of crunchy.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too oily, good amount of salt in there.
Yeah, great amount of salt. And then you combine it with the sweet and then the creamy that you have there. That's an excellent, excellent accompaniment of all the different things that we have here. It looks like we got one more thing going on.
One more thing. They're called bagel balls. So these are new, yep. So the flavor combinations are endless, but the most popular one we've done so far is an everything bagel dough.
Okay.
And on the inside, they're stuffed with bacon, scallion, cream cheese.
Shut your mouth. This is happening in a ball right here.
Yeah.
Well, you almost get a perfect bite, which is the beauty of it. How come nobody's thought of a bagel ball in Denver before? The perfect amount of cream cheese with the bacon, and then your everything, again with all the seasoning that's
Yeah, the
on there.
flavoring.
These are dangerous.
Yeah.
And then we noticed that we have the Dr. Brown.
Can't be a Jewish deli without Dr. Brown soda. They've been around since 1869.
Okay.
This is what made them famous, a celery soda. It's a little weird when you think about it, but it's actually really delicious. And then this is my all-time favorite, black cherry. Goes really well. I can't think of having a pastrami sandwich with that one. So
I'll try this one.
yeah, and well, cheers.
For sure. It is good.
Right?
Well, hey man, thanks so much for having us.
I really appreciate you coming down and checking it out.
Taste of New York right here in Denver.
Exactly.
Yeah. Make sure you guys check them out. Stick around. And let's eat. Welcome back. We stuck around in Rosenberg's because I have all this delicious food in front of me and I just couldn't let it go to waste. The beauty of it is it came out in about 5 minutes. Goes to show you that you can have delicious food in a flash. Today we had ice cream, pasta, and of course this delicious Jewish feast. Man, I'm gonna get back to it. But thanks for joining us on Let's Eat.